Communication commitment is the topic of day 120 for our Supersize Your Business Annual Challenge Day. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. And before I forget, because I forgot yesterday, we're going to cover the R in our super process, which stands for review and evolve. And in order to do that, I want to share somebody's example of one of the entrepreneurs that I work with and I'm working with this year. Her name is Tina, and she has a business coaching practice. Well, it's not a practice. She's got a team of 10 people and she wants to improve communication in them. So she decided she would share her story with us, and her target that she's working toward this year, I'm going to grab my magnifying glass and read it, is she wants to establish excellent organizational communication, implement transparent communication systems, improve team meeting effectiveness, develop executive presence personally and for her team members, and then ensure all stakeholders feel informed and heard. She's doing more as part of her scaling strategy because we've got her scaling this year. She coaches women who are transitioning from, women usually over 40, who are transitioning from corporate America or from the workforce to having their own business, which is super fun and super exciting. And it's right up my alley. So I love working with her. But communication is an area that she wants to have be something that her company is known for. Everybody in every niche wants to be known for something, and she wants that to be her thing. So as far as this last step, review and evolve, what's working, I'm going to show you what her plan is. Her plan is to do the following. Again, I like to pick a time-based format for looking at milestones when I'm personally setting goals and objectives. So I set a format, and you can use it if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, use what works for you. That's always my advice. So for review, I do a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual checkpoint, and then we figure out what is a milestone we're going to celebrate. And then once we celebrate that one, we pick the next milestone we're going to celebrate. And then for evolve, what needs to change and what's our big picture view of where we're going? So for example, I shared what her specific targets are. Now, monthly, she's going to look at meeting effectiveness. She's going to do a meeting effectiveness survey, or she'll probably have somebody on her team do that. And then have a communication satisfaction score. I don't know how they're going to do that yet, but we'll see how that plays out. Quarterly, she's going to have somebody do an anonymous feedback system. You know, they might have a feedback box or an input box in the meeting room, something like that. It can be simple. We don't need to make complicated systems to find out and check in with how we're doing in each of the different areas and aspects of our life. Now, if you're in a very formal organization, you probably will do that. If you're not, she's got a team of 10 people right now. So how formal does it have to be? It doesn't have to be super formal. Semi-annually, they're going to do a communication audit, what's working and what's not. You know, are our team meetings being more effective? And I love this next one. They're going to celebrate, and they haven't hit it yet because we've just been talking about communication this month. Their first, what everyone in the group considers productive, all hands on deck meeting. Everybody gets to vote and rate on it, but they're going to celebrate when they actually feel like everyone in the meeting, all 11 of them, or how many ever people they've got at that point, feel like, oh my God, I understand the strategy. I know why we're having this meeting. I know what I have to do leaving this meeting. We've all communicated. Everybody's been heard. However they want to judge that, but then they're going to have a celebration to reinforce that and make it a part of their everyday operations and just their way of being with one another. And then for evolving, communication becomes their competitive advantage, culture of radical transparency, recognized as communication forward company in the industry, in the coaching industry. I think those are all wonderful things to aspire to and to achieve, right? Totally possible for any one of us, and especially for, excuse me, Tina and her team. All right, so what are we talking about today? We are doing, just happens to be the same thing, a review of communication this month, and we're going to I challenge you to commit to 3 communication things or activities that you want to improve between now and the end of the year. So pick 3 areas that you want to improve. It could be meeting structure. It could be clarity of email communications. It could be having a This is how we digitally communicate strategy and document it and then communicate it to everybody in your organization. It could be a feedback culture, creating a culture of feedback. Could be gratitude. We just talked about gratitude yesterday. Can you imagine if everyone in your organization was grateful to come to work every day and do their job and felt like that was a privilege? It really is a privilege to have a job. Everybody does not have a job that wants a job, not even in America. So is it a privilege to have a job, or is it a responsibility? How do you look at that? How we look at things, colors, how we think about them, how we feel about them, and how we communicate about them. Maybe we have a system for follow-up systems. I think follow-up is the most underrated thing that people do. It's why I have my blue notebook strategy that I told you about and that I use that really served me well, especially in my last corporate job, because that's when I got really, really consistent with using it. And it was like, if you walk around with a clipboard, you're automatically seen as an authority. Well, I used to walk around with that little blue notebook and everybody saw me coming. But at first they were afraid of it, but then they realized that I was doing it to hold myself accountable to doing what I said I was going to do. And I gained a reputation for people knowing that if they asked me to do something or told me something that was broken that needed fixing, they knew it was as good as done because they trusted me to do what I said I was going to do, because I always did. I always followed up on it. I always did what I said I was going to do. Or if something happened that it wasn't possible, I always closed the loop and followed up with people. And once you get a reputation for doing that and being that way, people automatically find you more trustworthy and will trust you with bigger and better and more important things important to them, right? So a follow-up system, maybe it's a storytelling system. Maybe it's a meeting structure. It could be anything, but pick 3 things. One of mine is always listening. I always want to be a better listener. What else did I pick? I didn't pick and write down my 3 yet. That's why I can't share them yet, but I will share them in the comments below. If you would like, say share it in the comments below, or share on, right, Sharon? Share on. I think I share plenty. Think about today. You can do some reflecting on the whole communication topic. I think communication, I think confidence, I think they are 2 things that are so core to how we show up and how we lead and how we be a human being in our business that we have to pay attention to them. It's why I added them to my lifelong legacy goals list, and I've been doing it since 2020. They are part of my 9-part life framework now. That's how important I think they are. And I think that it's like gratitude. There's things that we all can do that will make our life easier and better. We just have to decide we're going to do them and find a way to make them automatic in our life. My trick, given that I have a brain that goes all over the place, or a mind that goes all over the place, is I have to link new habits and new practices and new ideas and new things to something that I'm already doing on a regular basis. So if I want to do a certain practice or try a certain habit on, I link it to something else that I'm already doing that's a habit. I link a lot of stuff to brushing my teeth. I know that's weird, but guess what? I brush my teeth twice a day. So twice a day, if I want to try a new practice, that means if I link it to brushing my teeth, that means at least twice a day, I'm going to remember to do that. That's just one of my little tricks. So that's it. That's all I've got today. I'm sure I could talk, I could talk longer, right? But I'm going to let you go because I want you to really, number 1, review communication and then pick your 3 things. And if you want to share one or all of them in the comments below so we can help hold one another accountable, that would be awesome. Of course, it's never required. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll all be very, very happy. All right. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. And of course, I'll see you tomorrow.